Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first vlog on the books here today. I've tried to do this a bunch of times. I recorded a bunch of different intros and tried a lot of different things, but I wasn't happy with any of them. So this is number one. I'm Jimmy, and I play rhythm guitar in Dirty Deeds, the AC/DC experience. We're based out of New England, Massachusetts, to be specific, near Boston, and we play shows all around the country, actually, and we just got back from a big tour up and down the East Coast, down to Florida and back, and we got a show tomorrow in Long Island. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a look at how I prepare for shows and whatnot, and how I get ready to, how I get my gear ready, what strings I use, what gear I use, and if you like those videos that I make doing the Malcolm rhythm stuff, I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth into what I actually do to get that tone and whatnot. So let's do it. We're both figuring it out as we go along together. So it might suck, it might be boring, but I'm going to do my best, and hopefully we can make something cool out of it. So, all right, the first thing I do is make sure my guitar strings are changed and all my gear is set up and ready to go. So here is a look at my guitar rack. This is the Dirty Deeds Malcolm guitars and my personal guitars. So I got my SG Les Paul and then the two Malcolm guitars here. So this is gonna be the first one we look at. I'm gonna put it down on the old ottoman over there because I don't have a workbench, and we will take a look at it together. And here it is, the Gretsch Malcolm Young custom shop. I guess Jet Firebird. Sometimes I'm a little hazy on the actual names, but it's the 6131, I think is the actual number of it. It's not the Salute Jet, but it is the professional line that they make, and the little bit of a relicking that's on it here is done by me. It's pretty grimy. You can see some of the dirt and grime on here, but anyway, it's a beautiful guitar. It just does the job every single time. It does everything I want it to. And look at that headstock. Vintage style logo. I love that old logo so much. It's such an incredible guitar. Right now it's strung with Ernie Ball Magnum Slinkies in the sort of mustard-ish dark yellow pack. 12 to 54, I think it is, which is as close to Malcolm's custom sort of gauge that you can get really easily nowadays. There's probably a slightly better option to get close to his tone, but that's the best I'm going to be able to do to be able to buy them reliably all the time. And I usually just get them delivered on Amazon every couple of weeks or so. I change strings before every show, so this has a new set on it before every gig, which does get expensive, but it's part of the job, so got to do it. One of the things I did was put strap locks on here, so those are rock solid. I realized that Malcolm's actual guitar had the strap button right there, which is kind of weird. I don't get why they would do everything perfectly except that, but it's fine. It's a TV Jones Powertron, I believe is what it is, and it is a great pickup. I would use it in my own music outside of the band. And then the Burns vibrato style bridge here that Gretsch actually makes themselves in-house now, and this is also on the red Malcolm custom shop, which I don't own, but I'm looking to own probably within the next 6 months or so. The back, there I am, looking stupid. I don't know if you can tell. Right about here where my finger is, it's blocked perfectly, but there's a little spot. There it is. That's all genuine wear right there. It's not relicked. It is actually just beaten down gig after gig. Actually, let me flip you around one more time. There's another little spot here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. That is just worn down by my leg rubbing on it like Malcolm's would, because I do the moves and everything like that too. But man, this is a great guitar. One of my favorite guitars I've ever owned, and I've owned a bunch of guitars, but I've taken it around the country. It's been in planes, it's been on a van, it's been in every situation I could imagine, and it's perfect every single time. Absolutely rock solid, never goes out of tune. I love it. The other guitar we have here is a Gretsch 62 Select Jet Firebird. It is in the same professional line, they call it, I guess, as Malcolm's guitar. If you can tell, this one's a lot newer. It's clean. I have barely actually used it on stage because it's my number 2. And yeah, I'm privileged to be able to call such a nice guitar a number 2, but I use this a lot in my music at home and my recordings for my original stuff. And so I've had a couple issues with it. It didn't start out perfectly. I had to get it set up a couple times to stay in tune with the Bigsby. Side note, I really hate Bigsbys. I would never get a guitar with a Bigsby if I didn't have to. I just find that they cause more issues. And so this is basically a reissue of a 1962 Gretsch Jet Firebird. It's exactly what it would have been back in the day. Ebony fretboards, same old style Gretsch logo, which I do love. The thing I thought was kind of cool actually is the headstock is kind of a red color. It's hard to tell. Yeah, there you go. It's a nice red, deep red. The back is black, which is interesting that just the front of the headstock is that different color. But anyway, pickup selector. This works as a tone switch, not a tone knob. It's like sort of a high cut and low cut sort of deal. This is a kill switch, and then this is volume for one pickup, tone for whatever pickup selected, and then a master volume. I just leave it on the bridge, leave the tone knob or whatever as is, and the master volume, all the knobs are all the way up. T.B. Jones Classic. I think it's a Classic Plus in here. I'm not 100% sure, but it is Classic or Classic Plus, both of them. Thinking about upgrading it to the Powertron just so it sounds exactly the same as the other one, but it's just such a great pickup as is. Super clear, a lot of high end, just bite like you would want, and kind of makes me sad to think that I would want to change it out, but for what I'm using it for, it really needs to be as identical to the other guitar as possible. This thing is my case here, Gator case, I believe, 2 guitar case. I had to cut some of the foam out on the bottom to accommodate the Bigsby, which I didn't love the fact that it's like that anyway, because the Bigsby is 100% gonna lose spring tension at some point in the future. But we'll deal with that when it comes. Another thing we got here that I use is my little bag. You gotta have a gig bag. Let's see what we got in here. I got my picks. Yeah, I don't use Fender picks. I don't even know what picks Malcolm used. Angus uses Fender Extra Heavy. Malcolm, I just need heavy picks to do what he does. It's they gotta be heavy and take a beating. So I got my little iPad here, cloth to clean the guitars off, iPad, in-ears, string winder, cable, backup cable. The iPad is essential because we each have our own mix on stage, so if something's screwed up, I can just run to the side of the stage and move a level, do that sort of thing. Magnum Slinky, Ernie Ball, what are they? 12 to 56, heavier than I thought. So these go on the Malcolm guitar. These ones, Burley Slinky here, go on the 62 Select, the red one. I keep lighter strings on that one because I like to use it at home, and I'm not playing 12s like that all the time. It's just not happening. So there's a good look at the guitars. That's really all I have it's all I have for instruments, but I'm trying to think of what else is like really essential to the role of Malcolm, and I can think of one other thing that you're probably all going to laugh at, and it is this. Yeah, it's a wig, okay? I used to have long hair. Ooh, look at that bright light. It doesn't really work for me anymore. I kind of am growing it a little bit longer, but it's not probably going to ever be as long as Malcolm's again. So I wear the wig to fit the character. It's not ideal. I kind of wish I didn't have to, but you know what? For this band, it's got to be done, and there's things that you got to do if you want to be in a role like this. So, I do it because it's what's required of me. I am showered, ready to go, and it's officially time to pack the car to go to Long Island. I'm going to take the ferry, so that'll be more fun. All right, the gear is all packed in the back of the car, as you can see. Bags in the trunk, and got to turn my podcast off, but we're ready to go. About 2 hours to the ferry, which isn't too bad, so I'm on the way to Dunkin' Donuts right now, and and I'm gonna grab a coffee. And then, 2 hours to the ferry, about an hour ferry ride, and then we get there. We'll probably meet the band at the theater right when they're getting there. If not, we might even beat them by a little bit. So, that's probably not true. We'll probably get there late, but it's fine. I just burnt my mouth so fucking hard on a wake-up wrap. This thing's fucking molten lava. We made it to the Long Island ferry. We're here in line waiting with the other cars. It's probably going to be another half hour before we get on this thing. So I guess now is a good a time as any to talk about how I actually joined this band and what we even do in the first place. So we're Dirty Deeds, the story of AC/DC, or the AC/DC experience as we used to be known. We're sort of pivoting now to be more of the show sort of goes through the years of Bon Scott into Brian Johnson into the present day and whatnot. So it's a chronological story. You get to learn about the band and really see the progression of time through the show. So that's sort of what we're doing. It's a theater style show, and it's more of a production than it is just a concert. There's a lot of media that goes along with it, so it's cool. If you're in the area, send me a message and come through to a gig, and we'll take you backstage and we'll hang out and stuff. Anyway, how I joined the band is kind of interesting. I was doing the Malcolm Young thing in a local AC/DC tribute, more local to Boston, just kind of playing bars and little clubs and really not playing to anyone at times. And then I left that band and joined another band, and we really were hitting the ground running, practicing every single day, meeting up. Like, that was a full-time job, that band. So I really cut my teeth in the music world in terms of having a regular schedule and really being a pro in that band. And I wasn't pro if by any means, but it was more of a job than it was just doing it for fun. So that was all original music too. And then years later, I moved to Arizona to be with my girlfriend, who was in grad school there at the time. And I got this message on Facebook that I didn't look at for a couple months. I'm not good about checking my messages. So anyway, I had gotten it in probably April, and it might have been sent to me in like February or even early March. I can't remember, but it was a while before I looked at that message. And it was Dirty Deeds looking for another rhythm guitarist to play the Malcolm role, as their original Malcolm was leaving. So I said, oh man, it would be cool to do it, but I'm in Arizona and I'm not going to be able to pull it off. It doesn't make any sense. But then I sat back and thought about it, saw the kind of theaters and the venues that they were playing and the caliber of show, and I said, all right, I think I screwed up. And I sent him back a couple messages being like, can we talk on the phone? I think I made a mistake by saying no just right off the bat like that. Like, maybe we can work something out. So we go through all that. We talk on the phone. He sends me, and this is the manager, sends me a cut of the concert, and I go and immediately learn the whole thing. I already knew the songs, but I kind of learned the arrangements of them and how they play them. And I blasted through the whole show, sent them the video back, and it was like clockwork. I flew back home, we had an audition, and this theater was a week after my first audition. And I played the show with them, and it went great, and they asked me to join. And I still, to this day, don't really know how they found me. They must have just seen a clip of me way back in the day doing the Malcolm thing and thinking I looked okay. I don't know. I appreciate whoever was the one to actually find me. I know who it was, but, it's always funny to think back that he just was looking this was years and years ago. It was like 8 years ago at this point that clip was probably seen. So they had me in their back pocket for a while, which is a pretty cool thought. It's cool to feel like you're in demand somewhat. But anyway, it's been kind of a wild ride to get here, and this is definitely the best gig I've ever had in my life in terms of the pay, the venues we're playing, the partnerships and names in the industry that we're working with. It's really exciting stuff, and it goes to show you that if you don't give up and you do what you feel is right, and if you don't, you persevere, and you have conviction about what you're doing, you're confident in your ability and confident in yourself, someone will take notice. So if you're feeling discouraged and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, just keep doing it, keep playing, go book a show and fuck up the whole thing and mess up, and you'll learn through that. And it doesn't even matter. Someone will take notice of you if you have conviction and you're confident in what you're doing. And that's all I really am doing in life, at least, or I'm trying to do, and it's working out so far. So this has been great, and now this year I'm trying to work on some original music, work that into the schedule too. So it's all been really good, and it's a bit of a quick overview of it all. We're in. It's kind of creepy, but we're in. All right, looks like we're just about to dock. The doors are opening from what I can tell, and I see the light. We made it to Long Island. We are... My thing is giving me a tutorial on how to record. I don't think I need that. And here we are at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, New York. What a beautiful theater. It's historic, it's old, it's super nicely designed. All the ornamental appointments are just awesome. So the little entryway with the bar, then we're gonna walk around and you can see the view of the stage with our big screen. And yeah, this is kind of a different theater because there's tables and chairs, which is somewhat unique. A lot of the places we played don't have that, but man, just look at it. They have weddings here, they have events, everything. It's so nice, and it's actually the first place I ever played with this band. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but it is just, it's a meaningful place to me because of that. And in a few seconds, you'll get to take a look at the green room. Here's me just sitting around in the green room doing nothing. This is like 90% of what a gig day is. A lot of hurry up and wait, but it's a really nice green room, and they treat us well here, so no complaints there. I'm privileged to be able to have that. And here's a look at the stage. You can see my little tuner down there and kind of what I see all night when I'm playing. Yeah, just such a cool theater. I wish I had some more factoids about it, but yeah, this is how it looks, and we try to do the stage decoration real nice. You can see the Marshall cabs and the cannons, the big screen behind us with all our graphics that play through the show that eventually you'll see, and what a cool drum head too. So here I'll give you a little look at sound check. You'll just hear the raw stage audio rather than, I can't really plug my camera into the soundboard yet, hopefully someday, but yeah, here's just a little look at what we do. I think we're gonna run through Jailbreak real quick. The stage sound is very different from the actual monitor sound, so it's kind of a fun look at what it sounds like. What you're looking at now is the walk out to the stage before the gig, and just after this clip, I'm going to shut up and show just the beginning of the gig, so you'll see me in the full get-up and Matt come running out with the Angus suit and whatnot. There's Bob and Matt there, just goofing around. And yeah, so this is the walk out to the stage, and it's getting close to gig time at this point, and I'm getting all antsy and anxious, so right about that time, I'm just rearing to go. Welcome to the calm after the storm. The gig is over. Good sold out crowd, good time all around, and We're changed, packing up the van, and getting ready to go. To the hotel, not to home, just to the hotel. So maybe we'll check back in when we're there. Maybe I'll just fall asleep. Whatever happens, it was a good night. A little sloppy for me personally, but you know what? That's fine. The crowd loved it, so it was a win in my book. Well, a lovely day and a lovely morning. I didn't get any footage from the hotel room because I was sleeping with Matt, lead guitarist. But I didn't want to disturb him. It was already late at night, but about to grab a coffee, get on the road to the ferry, and go home. That's all for this week and this vlog. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope there was some things that you enjoyed. I think the future vlogs will have more of a focus on the overall show versus just me talking nonsense. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you next time.